Okay, you guys, so I'm super excited. I am going live with Amanda today, who is one of our affiliates. So, another incredible lady who is, joining, which is so awesome. So, I can't wait for you guys to meet her. She's going to come on right now. She's definitely someone who is a business connector. She lives over in New York. So, we'll pick more of her brain about that and hear what she's up to and why she uses goal setting in her life and what she's got going on. Hey,
Hi.
thanks for
Hi,
joining me.
everybody. So
I'm just
happy to be here.
yeah, totally. So it's kind of giving them a little intro what you're up to because I know you're a really big connector in the lifestyle and fashion industry and you have your creative brand. So I was like, I really want to know all the things you've got going on.
Yeah, so interesting times for everybody, to say the least. Can you hear me? Good? Okay, we're good.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear you.
interesting
Yeah,
times for
you're good.
everybody, to say the least. I would say, the last 6 months for all of us have been a readjusting and reevaluation period. I
Totally.
have lived in New York City for the last 17 years. And
Mm-hmm.
probably like a lot of New Yorkers, not all of us, but a lot of us have left for the country for the time being.
Yeah.
And it's been, we've all had a lot of challenges, I would say. They're probably different for everybody.
Yes.
Um, so, professionally, I have owned a boutique recruitment agency and search firm. So I work with founders from startups to major global Fortune 500 brands, the likes of Milk Makeup, Sephora, a lot in the fashion and beauty space, and helping them find their talent and build their teams from the creative and marketing perspective. So
Yeah.
pretty dialed in. I've worked extensively in fashion and beauty and advertising and design. And I love helping people. I really, truly love making connections. And it's amazing, especially what's happening now, the online communities,
Yeah.
um, since we all can't see each other. So, to be honest, right now, I've decided since March, I've needed a little bit of a timeout. I've been working for 15 years and it's been a little bit of time to focus on my family. We've moved 6 times since the pandemic started. That's a
Okay.
lot.
Yes.
Finally settling into our new place in Connecticut, which I absolutely love. So it's
Wow.
been a huge transition. Um, it's been a really big transition, actually. I've went from working full time in March to screeching halt. Everything has been put on hold, from speaking at events to now, actually in person, to, oh my goodness, I'm home full time with a child. And my husband works quite a bit too. Our daughter's 3.5. And I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? I'm going to see a different side of Amanda right now. It's always been professional Amanda. Let's see what mom Amanda looks like.
But like
Um,
that's like amazing, like that you kind of just like I think a lot of people have changed or switched up their routine or direction, but it sounds like you're kind of having like this whole new chapter in a way.
it's totally a new chapter. And I think, I really struggled with it in the beginning, to find the happy medium of, oh my gosh, my professional identity is everything to me. But I think,
Yeah.
especially now at different periods of your life and anyone's career, um, there's a different weight on whatever you're prioritizing. And
Yeah.
certain things like what we're experiencing globally right now, that shifted a lot for me. And I think there's going to be a lot of changes for everybody. There's sort of this new normal, not infrequent to be on a Zoom call right now and see children running back and forth, and truly amazing how we're doing things.
It's so true, right? Because like a lot of people have their kids home with them, or you kind of just had to like adjust in what you're going or like what your goals currently are. Like you said, like you're kind of everyone has priorities, right? And that's kind of one thing at Modern Day Wife is like we're trying to like
Yeah,
host events or provide content where people like are able to see like you can pivot in different areas or you can kind of work on like your career but be a mom and how you're going to do that though
totally,
because there's
totally.
obviously only still 24 hours in a day, right,
That's
but we're
so
trying to
true.
bring light to that because
And I
nobody
think
talks about it.
it's
Really.
so true. And I think now more than ever is a great time to try new things. like creative
Yeah.
outlet. You know, you're not in an office and on your computer 24/7, you're home, you're out in nature, you're wherever you are. This is really a good time to reset and mix things up, and also really tap into your online communities of people that you maybe don't know and haven't connected with,
Yeah.
to see what other people are up to, because we're all handling this time period differently.
It's very true. And I like what you said, like about the potential to connect online, because I feel like that for me alone has changed so many things, from like partnering
So
more
much,
with
right?
Meagan now, and now being like able to talk to you, or like all of these different, you know,
Yeah.
entrepreneurs or people who are doing cool things in their lives or with their family. Is like before there wasn't really that. I don't know. I didn't think of that, I guess.
You would never think of it before, right?
No.
And I
Yeah.
also think it's a really great time to invest in yourself more than anything.
Yeah.
If there's ever a time of a major global shift in paradigm, this is it. And, you know, when we went into lockdown and quarantine, maybe in March, I was like, oh, 2 or 3 weeks. Here we are now, 6 months later, the last quarter of the year, and it's ongoing. So we can't think that things are ever going to go back to the way that they actually were. We're creating and shaping an entire new existence, all of us. And
It's
I think,
actually so true.
yeah. So, you know, what am I up to right now? I mean, I've been, again, as I said, I've moved 3 times, 6 times in the last, what is it, 6 times in the last 6 months. It's been a lot. Finally settled here in Connecticut and getting into a new routine. Business is starting to pick up a little bit. And I'm in the process of pivoting and doing some new partnerships, which I'm really excited about. I think after years and years of building all of these brands and connecting with founders and really the force behind, you know, when a brand comes to life or vision, I feel pretty accomplished in that territory, and I'm wide open for new things.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I mean, it sounds like you definitely are like a seasoned veteran, like you're an expert in what you're doing there. So I'm sure like for you, the options to pivot and kind of create and help different businesses, there's a lot of
There
opportunity.
is. And I would say, you know, for everybody, it's all about your network too. Maybe different networks you haven't thought about. If you're connecting online or people you know from way back then, it's important right now. And I try to make myself talk to 2 to 3 people a day, just friendly. Hey, how's it going? How are you doing? What's up? Like, that's so important. We're all human right now. And you never know the possibilities that come from it. It's a really good time to do self-inventory.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I was having that conversation with my fiance like the other night, because we were talking about like, oh, it's called social media, right? Like the word
Yes, social
social,
media.
like getting social. But so many, we were saying like, you know, you really can if you just put yourself out there and like, you know, go to online events and actually participate and message in the chat and say like, hi, I'm so and so, and this is what I do, or like reach out to someone. Because I think it's funny, like the habits you have online sometimes are could be habits you have in person, even where like you're
So
not willing
true.
to like reach for the conversation. But I'm like, it's so like he's like, oh, I try to like if I watch a story, I try to comment on that story because I'm watching it anyways. And I was like, you know, that's so true. Like actually taking the time to
Make the effort.
online a bit more.
Engage.
Yeah.
And people really want to hear from you. They do. Like, if they have no idea who you are, people want that more than ever right now. You know, strike up a conversation, not to be shy. I think it's really important to extend the network that you already have. Even those people you know in person, online is a great platform for it.
Yeah, totally.
I think what you're doing, you know, Modern Day Wife is perfect, especially the workshop we have coming up on goal setting. A lot of people right now are like, how do I even start with goals right now? I had my business, but everything. Look at this. This is a major blessing for all of us.
Yeah, it totally is. I think I'm very excited for this event too. I think like you can always learn about goals because that's
Yeah,
how
and
we
how people do them
live.
differently,
Yeah,
and how
exactly.
we all do things differently. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I feel like there'll be a little bit of like parallels in what the speakers say, but everyone's going to bring like their own unique flair to goal setting, and it's going to be such a fun event. Like we have a DJ and cocktail making and a wine class and learning about fashion.
Everything we
So
all
like
need
it's
right
really
now.
fun. Exactly. So it's
Everything
definitely
that's
going to
needed.
be like the best girls' night in. So I'm so glad that you're, on board as an affiliate. We're just really trying to expand our community. I know the link is like in your personal bio if any of your followers or network wants to attend. So that's exciting.
Yeah, and I'm sharing that with everybody, East Coast connection here. So that's always good. Some people have said they want to attend, but the timing is a little bit late for us. But I will be there, and hopefully we can get as many people as possible.
Totally.
I think it's value for everyone.
Absolutely. And the event is recorded. So we can definitely give them a copy if they need to get to bed, because I totally understand that. I'm like, I'm going to be on the East Coast too when we're hosting, so I'll have to like make myself stay awake somehow, coffee.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, the other thing too with COVID, I feel like bedtime hours are getting later and later. There's this structure and routine. People are probably not as structured as they once were. If you're not going into an office right now, it's pretty easy to have the quarantine/COVID routine.
It's actually very true. So everyone should get themselves to this amazing event. We're actually doing a 2-for-1 sale today.
So good. Bring your bestie.
Yeah, exactly. Bring your bestie. It's literally like 2 tickets for $34. I'm like, I would spend $15 on probably a latte.
That's nothing.
Croissant. So
yes, I know, right?
Yes.
Totally.
Okay,
and the whole
before we leave here, I want to ask you, like, how has goal setting, even helped you now, maybe like in your current change of scene, right? Because I'm sure you're maybe have new goals, or whether that was a goal to find a house or whatever it could have been, right?
I'm the type of person that tends to work pretty quickly through things, and I have to say, it was pretty uncomfortable. My business was booming, and then all of a sudden I found in March, gosh, my life is so different right now. There's no possible way I can be home with a 3.5-year-old. The husband is working all the time. How are we going to do this?
Yeah.
But it had been kind of looming, and I'm a big believer in sort of the universe will give you what you need when you need it. And I would say really a time to slow down. Sometimes for speedy people, the actual process of slowing down is really taking 10 steps ahead, and we don't realize that. So that's been a big one, is kind of letting go and shedding everything that you thought you were, everything you have been, catapulting you into the next chapter.
Yes, I love that.
And another thing about goal setting, and I would encourage this to everybody, I write things down. I think it's really important to be able to look at your goals every day, not even just starting with the beginning of the new year. It's truly like every day on something that you can see visible in front of your desk, wherever you work, wherever you wake up. Take a look, like what comes to mind, write it down. Is it immediate? Is it maybe something far off? Or is it just something I want to have at a future point? Regardless what it is, if you're looking at them every single day, they become a part of you, and you have no other choice but to get them.
I love that. You have to, but to get it. But
yeah, really like you have to see it. You have to see it. It can't just be in your head. It needs to be on paper and tangible.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, I probably should like graph that. Like statistically, if I look at the goals that I've written down, I'm like, I'm sure like those are the ones that actually happen.
Or just even look back, like, from 2010 when I started the business to what I had attained up until, when things slowed down in March. I'm like, okay, what's next? All the goals have been made. Now it's time for some new goals. So maybe on Wednesday, I can start, with some new goals for myself. I think it's always important to, at different times you need different things.
Absolutely. Well, every attendee will get our digital workbook, and there's actually a section where we will have people, identify some goals to work on. So I'm excited.
Oh my God, so exciting!
Yeah.
We all need that. I can't wait.
Yeah, amazing. Okay. Well, thank you for taking 15 minutes today.
Thank you for having me. It's awesome. I can't wait to see everyone Tuesday. Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye.
See ya.